Hello guys, this is your coach Arunav, and today I want to give you a sneak peek into one of the infield footage that has been broken down for one of the modules of our course. And I wanted you guys to see this. Now you might have seen this cut clippings or you might have seen this video on our channel, but I wanted to present you with an in-depth breakdown of what it actually means to get good in night game when you're going out to bars and clubs to approach women and to attract women. So without further ado, let's get down to the breakdown. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down another infield. Now you might have seen this infield somewhere, but in today's video I'm going to break this infield in depth. You're going to actually understand what I'm doing, how I'm doing things, and what kind of a result I'm getting, and how can you emulate the same behaviors to get a similar result. Now before I even start this video, I want to give you a quick backstory. Now the backstory goes something like this. Now on Friday I met this girl in a different bar and we had this good connection. You'll see what exactly happens, but nothing happened. I could not take her number. She got lost in the crowd. I went away. And then the next week, I met her again on Saturday. Now, next week, I met her in a different bar. We just bumped into each other. And you'll see the transition of what exactly happened. And without wasting any time, let's get right to it. So what exactly happened over here? Now I met this girl, I just locked in the eyes, and this was sort of a warm approach because the girl was already looking at me and I was like, hey, how are you doing? And I just went in straight for the hug. Now this shows that I was instantly physical with the girl. Of course, I got a little bit of a hint that her level of interest is a little high, and that's why I did this move. Now for you guys, if you're going out doing an approach in a bar, don't try to pre-calibrate all of this. Don't think that, oh, if the girl is looking at me, or let me get in a vision, or don't think that, okay, if I approach her with, and just give her a hug, how will it go? Don't try to think about all of this. This is a split-second decision that you take when you're walking towards the girl. When you see, her face, you see whether, she's uncomfortable or whether she's completely comfortable in talking to you. And if she's comfortable, then, you can go in for the hug. But if you can sense some discomfort, or you can sense she's not sure, that is the time you take a step back. So over here, I saw that she's comfortable, even with the body language, how she's grabbing me. She seems very interested. She seems extremely interested. So I went there, I spoke to her, and this is what exactly happened. Now let's see what happens after this. Now this is what happened that night. Then we started talking and I even took out my number to actually get her number, but she was just engaging with the whole group and she was a little bit intoxicated at that point in time. So she went up talking to other people, and I got another girl who's walking up on the stairs and I just started talking to her. Ended up number closing the other girl and just forgot about this one. Now that night I couldn't get her, I couldn't get a number. Now let's see what happens the second time I meet her in a different place, different environment, and I just see her, and you'll see my open, the way I open and the way I talk. She gets instantly hooked.
Yo! How are you? Right now, like 5 minutes back. What about you?
It's been too hard.
I fucking hate you. You remember my name? Fuck you. Okay, let's do the introduction again. My name is Arunav. Nice to meet you.
You are drunk?
No, I'm just sober right now. What about you? Oh, you're having fun.
So basically, I enter the place, I spot the girl, and I remember her, and I'm like, hey, how are you? And she's like, hey you, and then I'm like, fuck you, because she didn't remember my name. And it was just a playful banter that I'm creating with her. Now, whenever you're going out and talking to girls and you're using some abrasive language or you're trying to be offensive, always be offensive with a smile on your face, because you need to understand the 3 buttons of your tonality. It should be fun, commanding, and carefree. So if I'm just like commanding, like fuck you, it's not going to work out. But if I'm fun, commanding, and carefree, like fuck you, the girl is going to take it in a positive light. She's not going to be offended. But still, if you're a beginner, I would suggest staying away from all of this right now, because you really don't need to do this. But as you get to an expert level, you get more advanced, you realize that this is what the fun in game is. So, I'm creating this banter, this ball of energy, and the conversation is not very logical, as you can see. It's like, fuck you. She's like, oh, when did you come here? When did you come here? And I'm like, I just arrived. Because at that point in time, I just had arrived to that place. And this girl is like, oh, are you drunk? I'm like, no, I'm sober right now. But it's just like the ball of energy concept that I'm using over here, which is whatever the girl is throwing at me, I'm taking it to a fun direction. All right. And the fun is not about the context. It's not about what you're saying, but it's about how you're feeling. So because I'm feeling positive, because I'm happy when I'm talking to her, that state is getting reflected to the girl, and I'm amping her emotional state as well. Now, this is very important in night game, because if you approach girls and you're like, excuse me, what is your name? What do you do? I find you cute. It's not going to work out. The club and the bar is really high energy. And because of that, if you're not matching up to the energy, if you're going extremely low energy, the girls will not be able to listen to you. All right. So you need to be louder. And the way I'm talking is like, I'm talking to the person behind her. I'm cutting through her. I'm cutting, like my voice is actually cutting through her. And that's what I feel in my mind. And that's how I talk.
So what's your age? I can be your daddy. 37. But I think you're the older man. I'm 34. What do you do?
I'm into marketing.
Yeah, what kind? Digital?
Retail marketing. Retail marketing.
Like you repel people by your marketing?
Exactly. Very
You can do? What about you? Huh?
So what happened over here? Met the girl again, having that ball of energy concept, making it very sexual and authoritative. Like, I can be your daddy. She's like, what's your age? What's your age? I'm 37. Now, it's just me saying some random words, all right? It's just me saying some random words, but why is it working so well? Because in the club, the currency is fun. If you're a guy who's having fun, no one wants to cut down the fun. The girl is not going to be like, oh, fuck you, how did you say that? Unless and until you're saying it with a rude vibe, like you're saying it, being very serious. If you are fun, commanding, and carefree, it would work out. And if it doesn't work out, if you say something obnoxious, and the girl's like, oh, how did you say that? Just be like, hey, I was just kidding. Understand that girls don't want to kill the fun. Instead, the fun sucks the girls in your frame. So this is exactly what happened over here. Now I'm just looking at the girl, having a very authoritative frame. You can see the body language, it's very confident. And even when I'm, getting close to the girl, you can see my physicality as well. I'm very comfortable and it's very flowing. It's not just, very abrupt where I'm not sure whether the girl is going to like my touch or not. It's very flowing, all right? And that's what you need to understand about physicality as well. So I start slow. It's basically, I'm checking whether she's hesitant or not. So I'm going inside and I'm just looking at her reactions. Is she going to take a step back? Is she not? If she's not taking a step back, that means she's comfortable with my physicality. And if I'm holding her back and she's not, not sort of pulling away, that means that she's comfortable, so I can go in for the harder escalation. So if you guys are escalating on women, you need to understand, you need to make sure that they're comfortable, you need to make sure you have the consent. Now, of course, you're not gonna go up to them and make them sign a consent form. You gotta observe all of this through body language, and you gotta do small movements, small advancements to see how she's responding to your advancements. And if she's responding in a positive manner, then you can go even further.
Are you gonna kidnap me tonight? Yeah. No, I'm with my friend. My friend is alone over there. Adi. Yo, what's up, man? How are you? I have a lot of friends. Where?
So what happens over here now, I'm just talking to the girl, I'm using the ball of energy concept, and also I'm playing a lot with my proximity. Now a lot of you guys don't do that. Why is it important? Because when you're talking to the girl up close, there's going to be emotions that the girl is going to feel. But when you're taking a step back, it's going to be different emotions that the girl is going to feel. So what I'm doing is I'm talking to her, I'm holding her close. She's also coming on to me, so I know that she's super interested and she's super invested right now. Now she starts asking me some basic questions like, are you with your friends? Who are you here with? And where is your place? Now all of this shows me that the interest level is extremely high. All right, the interest level is extremely high, and I can pull it off from here. And the moment she asked me, are you with your friend? I'm like, yeah, my friend is playing over there, because I think my friend was playing in this bar. And the next guy, there's a random guy who's just crossing over. So if you're alone in a bar, you can use this trick. Personally, I don't use it anymore because I'm very confident. If I'm going out alone, I just tell the girl that I'm alone enjoying my own company. But earlier, I would use this trick, If any guy or any person is walking, I would just be like, hey man, how's it going? That's it. Just a high five, small talk in front of the girl. I actually did not know this guy from before, but just talking to him sort of gave me this social proof. And the girl's like, oh, he's also a friend. You know a lot of people over there. So really does not matter. I mean, if you want to do it, do it. It really does not hamper the results, is what I'm seeing these days, because I'm still going out alone. And I remember this happened to me on Saturday. The girl's like, hey, are you alone? I'm like, yeah, I'm alone. I'm just enjoying my own time. Have you ever done this before? She's like, no, I've never done this before. I'm super jealous. How can you just go out alone? I'm like, I do it all the time. It's fun. You should come out with me. I ended up pulling that girl from the club. So it really does not matter. But it's all about how you perceive the situation. If you think that, okay, I'm alone and I might lose value because I said that I'm alone, then you will subconsciously act in that way when you're talking to the girl. But if you feel like, I really don't get alone time, and that's what I felt last Saturday, I really don't get alone time, I actually want to go out and just do things I want to do. I just don't want to train anyone, don't want to coach anyone, don't want to do pickup just because someone said, hey, approach this girl. I want to do things that I want to do. So if I want to pick up a girl, I will do that. But if I don't, I'll do that. So that was the mindset this Saturday, and I just went out and the girl asked me, hey, are you alone? And with that kind of a mindset, I'm not thinking that I'm going to lose some value or anything. So I subconsciously communicate in a more higher value way. Now also, one more thing I just want to cover up real quick is when the girl is asking me, where do you stay? Instead of telling her my place directly, I'm like, are you going to kidnap me? Now whenever you see a guy having an interaction with a girl, you'll see that the guy is trying to sell themselves. Whether it's a first date, whether the guys and girls are meeting in the club, whether they're meeting in an online dating application. But the rule about attraction is you have to assume a higher value than the girl rather than putting her on a pedestal. And then instead of trying to sell yourself, which 99% of the guys are doing, you have to be the buyer. You have to be the buyer, and you have to make the girl feel like she's trying to sell herself. Now, when the buyer and the seller dynamic shifts, it's very easy to get the girl to chase you.
I was gay. Only on the full moon night. good dancer, but a shitty kisser. Just like my mom. It's my stepmom. It's the motherfucking party tonight. Oh, all my ladies, shake that hump. Shake it, shake it. What you gonna do? Hey man, I can see you. Oh, that's so buddy. What you up? Yo, what?
Now what happened over here was I was pumping her emotional state by being extremely flirtatious and also by playing with my facial expressions. Now you need to understand this about expressiveness is if you want to give her emotional spikes, you can give her just by the expressions that you have. Now a very simple example I'd like to give you is just with the expressions you can change the impact of the words. So for example, if I have to ask a girl, what's your age? And I ask her looking at the corner of her eye, looking at, her wrinkles, and I'm like, what's your age? Are you really honest? Is that your age? Now just with this kind of a reaction, the girl is gonna feel the impact of the words. The words really don't matter. It's all about your expressions and how you're expressing yourself. And this can work as a very good emotional spike because the girl will feel, why is he looking at my wrinkles? Does he think I'm old? Why is he asking me, if I'm sure about my age? Now, what I want you to know is I want you to give emotional spikes to the woman. If you're having a conversation where you're walking up to a girl and just having a very logical conversation, that conversation in a bar or a club is not going to go anywhere. Maybe you'll get the number, but the next day the girl will not even remember you because you've not left a memorable impact. So what I generally do is, I'm flirting with her, playing with the proximity, using the ball of energy concept. Also, you're doing physicality at the same time, which basically means I'm spinning her around, I'm dancing with her, and even the kiss. Like when I'm kissing her, I'm like, you are a shitty kisser, you're a shitty kisser. Just like my mom, my stepmom. I'm not even making any sense, right? This stuff is not even making any sense. And when I watch my Infields, I get amazed, like this is the kind of shit I speak and it works. The only reason it works is because of my vibe. Because how am I feeling when I'm saying all these things? Am I saying these things to impress the girl? Will someone say this to impress the girl? Or will someone say this just to have more fun in the conversation? So that's why my mindset over here really helps me, which is I want to make the conversation fun. I want to actually enjoy the conversation rather than aiming for a particular outcome. So also that means that whenever you're with a girl, never keep on thinking about am I impressing her, am I getting a number? Always do those things which sort of elevate your own emotional state, pump up your own emotional state. So as you can see over here, I'm pumping up my own emotional state, having fun with the interaction and just talking to her. Now her friend pops in. And a lot of guys in this kind of a scenario, as soon as a friend comes, you don't have to leave, all right? Just acknowledge the friend. Hey friend, how's it going? Now, even before, he's talking to her, I acknowledge him, I talk to him, and I disarm the guy, and she ends up talking to the guy. So I know that these guys are together, and I'm just talking to the guy, and I'm just, now a lot of you guys might leave the interaction at this point. You don't have to actually leave. Just be polite, have a smile on your face whenever someone is approaching, and always talk to them. Now, if the guy was probably her boyfriend, then I would be like, hey man, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you guys were together, and I would leave the interaction. But over here, of course, I can see the dynamic that it's just a friend because he's seen us dancing for quite a while and he's not there to create any problems. Now, you need to understand this, that people are going out to have fun. They're not going out to have fights. They're not going out to create problems. So make sure that you also don't create a problem. And if you end up in a situation which is out of your comfort zone, acknowledge the guy, talk to the girl, and leave the place if you have to. But most of the cases, you will not even have to.
Is your boyfriend? Yo, give me a number.
I be moving clean, I don't even try. All I see is big I spy. Yeah, that way, that will up by Tuesday.
What?
Yeah, that way.
I joined the moment after You want my number? Where's my name? I'll see you in a moment. Yo, it's going down.
like I'm talking. Walk it like I'm talking. Walk it like I'm talking. Walk it
What's
like
your
I'm
name?
talking. Like I'm talking.
I don't know. Nice to meet you.
Walk it like I'm talking.
Where?
Walk it like I'm
Delhi itself. What about you?
like I'm talking. Walk it like I'm talking. Walk it
Yeah.
like I'm talking.
Yo.
Heard you signed your life for that brand new chain. And you came with stripes, but you ain't strong. Walk it like I'm talking. Walk it like I'm talking. Walk it like I'm talking. Walk it like I'm talking.
So what happens over here is I ask the girl, is he your boyfriend? And the girl says no. And of course I know because the guy would have created a problem or an issue. But I still want to make sure that the guy doesn't have any sort of a crush on her because I don't want to create any problems. I've just entered the place. And apart from that is the first part of the night. Now in the first part of the night, you're just socializing, you're meeting as many people as you can. Because at the first part of the night, the girl's objective is not to go home with any guy. So over here, I make sure that I follow the objective, which is the first part of the night. So I know that this is the time where I get to interact with other girls as well, rather than just sticking to one girl and wasting my entire night. So I leave it open-ended. Hey, let me just catch up with some friends and I'll join you. So always leave the interaction open-ended, because if you want to join them, it doesn't get awkward, it doesn't get like, oh, I said bye to her, now I'm saying hi to her again. So make sure if you're in a club, if you're in a bar environment, you leave the interactions open-ended, like how I left it. Now the reason I left it is, first part of the night, she's asked to go to office tomorrow. I cannot even pull her logistically. She might create some issues unless and until the attraction level really shoots up, which might have happened if I would have committed my time and committed to the set. But at that point in time, there's a lot more beautiful girls in the bar. It was a French party and I wanted to talk to more girls. So that's what happened, and as soon as I left that interaction, I approached another girl, and that's what you need to do if you want to build massive momentum and you want to get crazy results. So I hope you understood how you can approach girls, attract girls, whether it's a bar or a club, any nighttime scenario, it shouldn't matter. Now if you want similar results for your own self and you don't want to waste time in hit and trial, you want a professional's help, all you need to do is click the pinned comment below, schedule a call with my team, and let's see if you're a right fit to work together.